Fitbit. 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 The only exercise I get is chasing those damn gypsies off my lawn.
All right. Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, June 19th, and this is episode 010, episode 10 of the Friday Five, our weekly tech and e-commerce talk.
You were literally going to say 000.
You know what? I'm staring at the digits right on the screen, and I knew it was going to trip me up. As always, we have up in New York City, Mr. Bart Mroz.
Hello.
Say hey, and I am your gracious host, John Suder, down in Philly. Justin will not be joining us today, so we're going to carry on without him. So let's dive right in. We're going to talk about China's e-commerce market and how it is 80 times bigger than India's.
That's crazy.
There was a recent study stating that fact. India's e-commerce sales will be 17.5 billion by 2018, which pales in comparison to China's e-commerce sales in 2014, which were $426.26 billion. That is staggering.
That's just crazy.
That is staggering. In the study, there's a lot of reasons. You want to talk further on that, but there's a lot of reasons why India is still behind.
The things I glanced over were like only out of internet users, only like 2 out of 10 will do shop online.
And a big part of it is they've got crap internet.
Right. Which China has ridiculous internet for some reason.
If you go from a populated center, you go from 3G all the way down to edge, and that doesn't really make for a good user experience.
No, not at all.
Especially if you're trying to
dialing again.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it is part of the culture. The Indian people over 35 are very wary. And I think as the population, obviously.
Which is strange considering, a lot of the tech centers are in India, right?
Yeah, so you have your under 35 crowd that's, they're going with the flow, but I think the older folk they still don't trust it. A lot of people there.
Older folks.
A lot of people still don't have credit cards. It's still basically a cash economy.
It is. It's strange. Although, weren't they doing like cash on delivery things at some point?
Yeah, well, that's Flipkart. Isn't that Flipkart does that?
Yeah.
Flipkart raised $550 million last year, so they seem to be cornering that market there.
Yeah, pretty
much.
But
if you're not in a major city, like again, the internet sucks. Like the customer service sucks. Everything just sucks about it.
Yeah. So speaking of sharing things.
Good segue. Go ahead.
You like that one?
Run with it. Let's roll with it.
Just going with it.
Let's go with it.
Speaking of cash on delivery, hey, that's pretty good. Amazon apparently is thinking of trying out delivery sharing.
Yeah. So everybody wants to be the Uber of. Everybody wants to be the Uber of Uber of And I think this has potential, but again, with any type of these crowdsourced freelance type gigs, the risk, you have to be cautious of the risk, because anytime you let someone wear your shirt, so if you're, hey, I'm gonna hire you, and you're gonna go deliver packages, which is great. People need money, and they want to, just like Uber drivers. But all the stuff that's happening with Uber can happen to Amazon as well. So I think it's got a long way to go. It's
right. I mean, it's interesting they're trying to do this. Like people technically that happens in New York as it is, because Uber Rush, which is their bike messenger service. That's
right.
Amazon actually delivers in New York an hour. most basic things. You can
They
get
actually have that here too. It's now in Philly, which isn't a third world country as people would think.
Well,
Some parts.
parts.
Some parts.
We can ask young Brady over here, back here. By the way, we're reciting Brady.
My internet service goes out because I think in my neighborhood, the internet's made of licorice ropes.
Licorice ropes.
It gets hot, and it's like, oh, you have no internet.
Nice.
Yeah, but I think where this could really succeed is obviously during the holidays. If you remember back in 2013, they had the the flood with the deliveries. That cost them a shit ton of money. So
yeah, the only problem they'll have is what Uber's having, I think, right now. In California, the law passed. Like, it wasn't bad, but there's a judgment. I mean, obviously, you want to fight it. And it's only one driver that actually was happening to.
really,
That they're supposed to be employees. Strange, right?
yeah.
It's going to be tricky. Like, if Uber drivers have to be employees, why not have eBay sellers as employees too?
Right, exactly. And I think a lot of the economy is going that way. It really is a freelance economy now. You're going to see a lot more companies doing this. But again, I think what needs to be, worked out is that people are still people, and not all of us are sane and trustworthy.
I mean, I know your packages gets bounced around and kicked around by this is gonna be fun.
I deliver your package, then I go around the back door and rob your house, and that's just that's only one scenario. I mean, so
All of this stuff. It's kind of weird. Yeah. So that's fun segue. Robbing your house. Fitbit is getting an IPO.
So Fitbit launched their IPO yesterday.
Wait, they went IPO, right? Or they're just pursuing it now?
No, they launched yesterday. I have notes, but here they are. It says here. So I was kind of following this. They priced their shares originally between 13 and 17. As of Wednesday night, they popped to 20. They opened at 20. And as of 10:30 this morning, it's at 31.63.
Interesting.
Which is pretty impressive. Now, let's get into, okay, that's great. And, everyone says we're still in the tech bubble. So this really isn't that surprising. Wearables are still big, depending on what, but depending on who you talk to, the other side of the aisle is, wearables are dead. Older people won't wear fitness devices.
Which is actually not true. I see a lot more older people wearing these kind of things now.
I think the point is that people wear them. I've had this on my wrist for a good 2 years. I've been through like 4 bands already.
Right.
That's just my nature, I think. But for some people, even just having this on here, it's just too much. It's too much work. You have to tell it when to sleep. You have to tell it to do certain things. You have to sync it, all that thing. So that's why
the device.
Well, it depends. So if you get the upgraded device, but then not everybody wants to spend $250 for a fitness device,
right?
And for some people, even $100 is way too much to have a thing on your wrist.
Yeah, and like, I think for me, it's more of like, my watch. Just I love and adore. I don't have to do anything.
That's the Withings. What model is that? The Withings.
It's the Active, but they have
Withings Active because they had the Withings Pop that came out, which was the lower priced one, the one that I was going to buy.
Yep. And you don't have to do anything.
That's
you're sleeping and knows all those things, and like it's a gorgeous watch,
Yeah, so I mean, again, they're the fitness enthusiasts. Obviously, they love to track their progress, track what they do. There's some studies that come out that say it's a lot of bullshit. The Fitbit and all the other wearable devices don't really track. They don't really accurately track. But what I think is it's almost like the not the placebo effect, but if you're committed to making yourself better and this device helps you, God bless you.
Don't live and prosper, right?
Yeah. Live long and prosper and all that.
I mean, just tracking my sleep itself, like
Yeah, exactly.
Not that accurate, you know.
Exactly, because that's one thing. That was one big key thing for me. And what drives me crazy about this is I have to tell it that I'm sleeping. And when I'm falling asleep, I don't want to wake up and go, "Oh, hold on, tap 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 tap." You know. So that's the thing that I don't like. They're going to use the money for the IP from the IPO for research and development. There has been a few lawsuits. Jawbone was suing them.
Well, Nike got out of it completely.
Oh, so they don't make the fuel anymore, right?
No, it's just
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. They were one of the first ones that did it. All right. I don't know.
It's interesting because they really have a good mobile running app.
Yep.
Just I think it's probably just a hardware issue. They just didn't want to be in the hardware.
Probably they didn't want to be in the hardware game where it's just a mobile app is so much better for them, right?
I think what it probably does, it just takes focus away from what they really want to do. And hardware is tough.
A lot of people run with their phones anyway, and they can track it that way. Like I use the running app on my phone, and it does that, right?
Right.
So, and I run with my phone. It's fine.
All right. So speaking of watches.
Speaking of watches,
go ahead.
I was gonna say like something like Apple Watch. You know, it will track it, and there's enough tech inside of that thing.
So that's what I forgot. So we have to talk about Apple. I mean, if I were an investor, I would be afraid because of Apple, because you know that Apple waits for someone to excel at something and then they come in and eat their lunch. So
I mean, I think with the watch, they're already there. You still like your watch? Yeah. He says he still likes his watch.
Of course he does.
He adores it.
It's the instant gratification.
Exactly. But so speaking of watches, I do have my Whitings, which I love. Something else came in this week. It's the beautiful Pebble.
That's the Pebble Time. That
is the Pebble Time. Yes.
Now you got that through the Kickstarter.
Kickstarter, because you get offered the first when you.
So it has Kickstarter engraved in the back, right?
It is 2 times champion Kickstarter backer. 2 times. Because I've done it twice.
Right, because we got the first edition as well. So They knew that.
That is correct. There it is right there.
So you're a champion.
I am a champion.
So what's the price point on the Pebble Time?
I don't actually remember.
It says here. It says here. Well, there's the Pebble Time.
Which is exactly one you want.
So there's still no pricing on the. Oh, here we go.
I backed it, so 2 of them came in, so it was kind of cool.
Yeah. So there's still no price. It's still not available on the website.
Yeah, they started shipping them. So, basic. Oh, I can kind of get a little bit thing going on. So,
is there a light?
Yeah, it lights up a little bit. It is kind of dark, actually. But it's cool. I mean, the only problem I think is like, because it's just it's basic. I mean, it's a color e-ink display. It's faster than an old one. It notifies you about everything, so you can't really turn your notification unless you turn it on your phone. So whatever on a phone hits, it hits here, which is fine. I'm not I don't know. I don't think I want my wrist buzzing all the time.
Well, again, that was the complaint with the Apple Watch, is that, how much do you need to be notified about everything? Right. There are people who enjoy that, and that's good for them. But I again, introducing another piece of technology that's going to take your time.
Right.
So what is your main reason for having this watch?
I have none. We just got them just to see what they are.
Okay, so what's the thing that you like the best about it?
The notifications are cool because you're not looking at your phone all the time, but also a little distracting too because you are looking at your watch all the time. But pulling your phone out completely to look at stuff is, I've ordered an Uber from the watch, which was kind of cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So how many apps I mean, are there a lot of apps available, or is it the ones that they?
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, this is a color one, so they're making new apps. I think my favorite part is literally when it charges.
Yeah, that's neat. If you can't see, it's a coffee cup with the lid off, and what is there, drops dripping into the coffee cup as it charges?
Yeah, it's cute.
Yeah,
It's very cartoonish.
Which I think is going to appeal to a lot of people. I think I love the old 8-bit style art. I think that's really neat.
Yeah, same thing. You can change watch faces. What's cool about it is they have these buttons right here. And basically the idea is that the top one is past, that type of thing. The bottom one is what's coming up next.
Oh, neat.
And then the middle is...
So it keeps a chronological of your notifications, so you keep
it's basically, like your calendar, right? So if you press down what's next on your calendar, what's coming up, all that kind of stuff. So
but you can do that for each individual app, or will that just collect all your notifications into one screen and you can...
Yeah, it's one screen. So
if it's one screen, you have a notification from your calendar, an email, a text. You can scroll through.
Basically, the button, if you press down, that's literally just your calendar of what's come up.
Neat.
Kind of cool. Anyway.
It's a good looking watch.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's plastic. I mean, it looks like plastic. So, because I got this one, but there's another one that's like steely. So, anyway.
Did you hear what I said? I think we both had a stroke. I'm looking at you and you're just like staring into space. I said there were some complaints about the screen brightness. What do you think?
Yeah, it's definitely not bright enough.
That's why I asked if there was a backlight. There's no backlight on that?
There is when you shake your hand, the light pops up, but still not. It's great in the dark, but
you can't turn it on. You can't force a light to come on without getting jiggy with it?
Yeah, pretty much. I think you can turn it on so it's always on, but obviously battery life.
Yeah, it'll suck the battery. So how's the battery on that thing?
7 days.
7 days. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Well, that's what the rating is. So you probably get about 6 out of it. Depends on your notifications and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Unlike Apple Watch where you charge it every day. Right?
Every other.
Every other day.
We found an interesting thing. I thought this was monkey balls when I first saw it, but Range Rover UK has developed a prototype system that allows the Range Rover Sport to be controlled remotely through a smartphone app. You have to watch the video to really understand this. So basically, you can get out of your car and drive your car with a smartphone app, and that there's a steering wheel in the app where you can turn the car left, right, forward, backwards. The catch is you can't sit in your house and drive your car to the store and have it come back. It only goes 4 miles an hour, and you have to be within 10 feet of the car itself.
What is this, parking?
I thought it was kind of silly, and then I watched the demo, and it was like if you're on terrain and you think the bottom of the car is going to scrape on something, or you're going to...
That makes sense.
In a spot, you can get out and navigate it out. But here is the best part. And then I thought, you know what? People who have $80,000, $100,000 Range Rovers, generally speaking, aren't using it in rough terrain. They're going to the mall in this thing. But here's what was neat. In the video, there was a guy trapped between two people who parked too close. And he walks up to the car, and he looks, he sees he can't get in. He fires up the app, and he pulls the car out.
Right.
That right there, I was like, you know what? That makes sense. Okay. What wasn't in the rest of the article, and it's in the video, if you need to make a 180-point turn, you can launch the app, and it'll...
Right.
Because it senses the edge of the road. It figures where the edge of the road is and makes a 180-point turn, which I think is really neat.
Interesting.
Now, I mean, Range Rovers, I'm sure I don't know what a Range Rover Sport goes for these days, but I'm sure it's at least $50,000, $60,000. So
not cheap. It's not cheap at all. So
not a toy.
Not a toy. No, they want to bounce around everywhere. They're made for that, but nobody does that, which is kind of funny.
But yeah, I thought it was the silliest thing ever until I saw the video. The parking spot thing totally makes sense.
Yes.
All right, I think that is it for this week.
Wrap it up.
Any parting thoughts?
None.
None whatsoever. All right. Everybody have a great weekend. We're going to wrap it up.
Peace. Bye.